Oh, what a freaking week. We had some crazy games. That's all I gotta say. We had crazy games, top to bottom, starting from Thursday all the way to Sunday night. I mean this week was loaded. Uh, just it's a bunch of crazy games, a bunch of crazy stuff happened. A lot of injuries, a lot of big things kind of coming up in the league. We reached a little bit over halfway into the season. Playoff picture getting really close. Teams are looking already. You don't really know who's going to be in there. But, yeah, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff coming up. And I'm excited. It's going to be tight coming into the end of the season in terms of the playoff picture. There's a lot of teams that aren't going to be able to get in that probably deserve to be in. Just unfortunately, just due to the conference. The NFC is looking weak. Very, very weak. AFC is stacked. NFC is looking like you just got to win like 7 games and you might make the playoffs. Not with the AFC. AFC, you got to be at least 9-win, 10-win team. I guess we'll kind of see how that goes. But, yeah, let's kind of get into it. I'm excited for this one. Thursday night, we had the Panthers and the Bears. I will say that this was a very lackluster, boring game. Straight up. I mean, the Panthers only scored a touchdown because of a punt return. Or a kick return. I forgot. I think it was a punt return. But, I mean, when that's the only sign of you scoring any type of points, the fact that, so Bryce Young didn't turn the ball over. That's a good thing. I would have hoped he wouldn't turn the ball over against one of the worst defenses in the league, but at least he didn't. Either way, man, the Panthers' offense is just it's a mess. The amount of just lack of talent, lack of consistency, the playbook, everything just sucks. The offensive side of the ball is just a complete mess. The running back and tight end core, it's kind of up there, in terms of contracts. Right, the wide receiver core, you can kind of strip that and rebuild. But the running backs and the tight end room, it looks like that's going to kind of stay just due to the contract situation with some of the free agents they had gave. By the way, if you hear my dishwasher, hopefully it's not too loud, but yeah, life things. I will say, though, the Bears didn't, I don't know. This was just a boring game. Honestly, I wasn't really paying attention most of the time because there wasn't a lot of action. A lot of field goals, a lot of just boring. It was just a very boring game. But Deontay Foreman was probably the only playmaker that was on this team. Besides that guy who returned the punt. I don't even know his name. But, yeah, this was a very, very boring game. As you can see here, 12 first downs. That's so low. You got to, what is it? Like a 20% chance to get a third down completion. That's really bad. They were 4 for 4 on third down, on fourth down though. But this game was just a lack of talent, lack of action. Just a close game for really no reason. And you're probably thinking like, dang, Thursday night, how could it get any more boring than that? Well, tune in on Sunday morning when you go to Germany because you got the Colts and the Patriots. Very lackluster game. Only 16 points combined. Patriots couldn't even really get in the red zone. They got two field goals, one in each half. This was just a horrible game. Bill Belichick benched Mac Jones, put in Bailey Zappi. And one of the dumbest endings of a game I've ever seen. They had plenty of time to go out and kind of win the game, and Bailey Zappi just fakes a spike and then throws a pick in triple coverage. Just a really stupid ending, very dumb play. Gardner Minshew didn't even play good either. this was just a horrible game, altogether. It was just a very defensive, slow pace. It's just a really bad game. There wasn't really anything going on. But yeah, the Colts kind of got a free dub here because there wasn't really nothing to brag about. Going into the 12 o'clock games. By the way, I did get the Panthers and Bears game wrong. I did pick the Panthers to win. They didn't. I did get the Colts game correct. Colts and Patriots, I did pick the Colts. Going into this game, I did get this game correct. I did pick the Steelers. I just felt like the Steelers, they're a very gritty team. People are not aware that Mike Tomlin is a very underrated coach. He is I don't think he's had a losing season since he's been the head coach. And his team makes the playoffs almost every year. They're 6-3. You can hate on them all you want. You can hate on how trash Kenny Pickett is. You can talk about how trash Najee Harris is. But they 6-3. You know what I mean? They 6-3, and they lost the game that they probably shouldn't. They should be easily 7-2. But people, I'm not gonna be hating on the Steelers. The Steelers aren't just an easy team to beat because they're just a well-coached team. Great culture, they, like I said, they make the playoffs almost every year. They have a winning record almost every single year. It doesn't really matter who's on that team. They're going to be a dangerous team. And I just kind of felt that, the Packers just aren't that type of team, and that kind of proved it. They had less first downs, way more third downs, less rushing yards, and just overall, the turnovers, But I'm not going to sit here and say Kenny Pickett had an amazing game because he didn't. But, hey, the defense comes in, all three phases, they just kind of get the work done, Jordan Love, he's up there with probably Josh Allen with the amount of turnovers he's producing every game. Next, we got the Saints and the Vikings. I did get this game incorrect. I did pick the Saints. I was unaware that there was an injury coming into this game. I forgot who it was. Derek Carr got injured as well. Jameis Winston throws two really bad picks. Those 2 touchdowns, though. But, hey, man, the myth, the legend, Joshua Dobbs. I'm quickly becoming a big fan of Joshua Dobbs. He's been screwed around in the league. The head coach brought him in. The head coach for the Cardinals, they brought him into the office and looked him dead in the eyes and said, hey, we're not going to trade you. We need you. And like a day later, they traded him to the Vikings. And it's just like, dang, you're going to do Joshua Dobbs? That's just cold. And, he's 2-0 already. So I'm happy for him. Anyone who goes to the Cardinals, kiss your career goodbye for at least the first 2 or 3 years. Because you ain't going to do nothing. Cardinals are a mess. You got Joshua Dobbs out here helping the team score 21 points in the second quarter, going up 24-3 at the half. Full control. As you can see here, the time of possession, more first downs, better third down efficiency, more passing yards, more rushing yards. They dominated all 3 phases of this game. But, they kind of rallied back. I will say, if Jameis Winston wasn't so stupid with the football, Saints might have, kind of came back and won this, but, he threw 2 really bad picks. And those picks were, just some of the dumbest throws I think I've seen this season. Joshua Dobbs did have a rushing touchdown, which was insane. I don't know. He had a lot of great plays. If you see some highlights, he was going crazy. But I'm really happy for him. I did get that game wrong. Next, we have the Texans and the Bengals. I did get this game wrong as well. I did have the Bengals winning. The Bengals were actually looking to kind of, I don't know. This game was close all the way down. It was just back and forth. But it always felt like the Bengals couldn't get nothing going. And C.J. Stroud, I think until teams kind of figure him out, he's going to have an amazing season. But, to see that you're a great quarterback, you got to do the same thing, if not better, the next year. So I'm not fully on the C.J. Stroud hype train, but he's playing really, really good right now. But if he's able to replicate that next year, then it's a serious problem that they got in Texan for the Houston Texans. But yeah, hopefully he's able to continue his success. The Texans have a winning record. That's the best record they've had in like 4 years maybe. Halfway into the season like this. Yeah, Joe Burrow had a pretty trash game. Devin Singletary probably had his best game in the last 2 or 3 years. 30 carries, 150. That's like a perfect game for a running back. Especially, and he got a touchdown. Joe Mixon, I'm still not a fan of Joe Mixon. He's not doing anything crazy this season. Jamar Chase had an amazing game. He balled out, but it wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough. A lot of first downs, 48 first downs combined. I mean, the chains were going. A lot of rushing yard. I mean, the Houston Texans honestly just kind of were. They just kept being in control just by a little bit, and it just stayed like that the whole game. And they kind of I wouldn't really say snuck a win, but they kind of like exposed the Bengals a little bit. Next we have the Browns and the Ravens. I did get this game wrong. I did pick the Ravens, and they're just out here choking in the second half. Deshaun Watson had a decent game. Had a pretty decent fourth quarter. Lamar Jackson only 13 completions with 2 picks. That's a pretty trash game. Jerome Ford had a pretty decent game. They're not really using Kareem Hunt that much like I thought they would. But yeah, Odell had 1 catch for a touchdown on like a wide open kind of touchdown. But yeah, time of possession, the Browns dominated this game, 9+ minutes. And just a pretty easy win for the Browns. Like I said, they had a crazy second half. I did get that game wrong, unfortunately. Ravens should have easily won that. Next, we do have the Titans and the Buccaneers. I did get this game correct. I did have the Bucs winning. I didn't really see the Titans winning this game. The Bucs have a pretty decent defense, and Baker Mayfield's been playing pretty good. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I was right. But yeah, I'm not gonna really sit here and say, oh, the Bucs are like, watch out for the Bucs, because they've had a very easy schedule so far. They have a very easy division. They just beat the Titans, very easy teams. But yeah, not to discredit them or nothing, but Mike Evans finally had a pretty good game. 6 receptions, 143, and a TD. Pretty good game. But yeah, this was a pretty one-sided. Nothing really to go off of here. Next, we have a big blowout with the 49ers and the Jaguars. I did get this game correct. The Jaguars were a mess. They couldn't get anything going. Drops, bad throws by Trevor Lawrence, no run attack. The defense was letting up everyone get open. They couldn't stop George Kittle. They couldn't stop what's his name? They couldn't stop Christian McCaffrey. This was just a very lopsided game. As you can see here, just complete domination, 7+ minutes, no turnovers. They had 5 sacks, sack fumble, I believe, but Chase Young got his first sack. More passing yards, almost triple the rushing yards. This was just a blowout top to bottom. It's crazy that that's only the Jaguars' 3rd loss. Next, we go to the 3 o'clock games with the Lions and the Chargers. I did get this game correct. I did pick the Lions. Did I think it was going to be this close? Not at all. I thought they were going to kind of low-key blow them out. Jared Goff had a pretty good game. Justin Herbert had a great game. Had that pick, though. It's something that you don't really want to see. My computer's being a little slow. Give me 1 second, guys. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't expecting this game to be what it was. Amon St. Brown, 156, a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 175, 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, man, I hate the Chargers so much. I hate everyone in my division, but Keenan Allen is just that. he's that guy, man. He's been that guy very consistently for years. David Montgomery had a really good game. Big reason why they won the game, to be honest. But this game was close. This came down to the wire. This was a very evenly matched game. The teams complemented each other's play style, and it just became a 50-50. But big win for the Lions. Kind of a big loss for the Chargers. Next, we have the Commanders and the Seahawks. I did get this game incorrect. I did pick the Commanders. I thought they could, do something. Sam Howell had a great game. Geno Smith had an okay game. No run attack for either team. This was just a matter of not being able to stop the Commanders' defense. Just couldn't get a stop when they needed to. I mean, it's 27 first downs. You can't allow a team to get 27 first downs and beat you in possession time and win the game. I mean, it's just a recipe for failure, to be honest, and unfortunately, that's just kind of what happened here. The last 3 o'clock game is another blowout. We had the Giants and the Cowboys. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. This is the second game in a row, I believe, where the Cowboys had to put in their backup quarterback. Tommy DeVito, 80. Keep in mind, he's an undrafted rookie or late round rookie. I don't know. But you can't win a game throwing 86 yards. You just can't. Does he have weapons? No. Does he have a coach who can call great plays on offense? No. Is Saquon washed? I think he is. He didn't do that good. Plus, they couldn't run the ball that much because of how, horrible their defense was playing, letting basic... I don't even know how many times the Cowboys punted, but it couldn't have been maybe twice. 32 first downs. They literally doubled the first downs. They were 0 for 12 on third. They didn't even complete a third down. That's how bad the Giants are. Just a horrible game. Cowboy fans are really going to be up, thinking they up next or whatever. But, you got the Giants 2 times a year. You got the Commanders 2 times a year. That's 4 free wins. You know what I mean? Next we have Sunday night. Pretty mid. The Raiders kind of snuck this win. Zach Wilson played okay. He did have a pick, but it's not like it's all his fault. Breece Hall didn't help him. His receivers, besides Garrett Wilson, don't exist. But I will say, they should have low-key won this game on a Hail Mary. Tyler Conklin, instead of, trying to at least attempt to catch or let his, receiver catch the ball, what does he do? He swats it away like he's a defender. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put the blame on Tyler Conklin, but it's like, you can't do that. You got to have more awareness, you know what I mean? But this game was boring. There wasn't really anything to go off of except for that last play. The Raiders just kind of dominated this game. There's nothing that the Jets can do this season to revive it. Even if Rodgers comes back. If he comes back, it's too late. It just is. When I tell you that I've seen lots of crazy endings, lots of close games, I have never seen a game quite like this. And I've been watching football for about 18 years. I've been playing, football games since I was 4 years old. Never once had this ever come up. I've played, people in Madden before. I've played people in other football games. I've never seen this happen. I've seen people play football video games. Never have seen this happen. This is a completely stupid game that I will never see a game like this ever again. So first, the Bills, they get the ball right. They get the ball at the hat to start. First offensive play, Dalvin Cook That's his name, right? Dalvin Cook? James Cook. I always get him mixed up. James Cook fumbles on the first play. Broncos can't do nothing with it. We score a field goal. That's pretty much the whole first quarter. Second possession, Josh Allen throws a pick. What do? We don't capitalize. We go ahead and punt. We go down and score a touchdown on an amazing Courtland Sutton toe tap. One of the best plays I've ever seen. It was a vintage Russ throw. A lot of people are going to say that he was throwing the ball away. That he wasn't. Russ makes throws like that his entire career. This was just a vintage play that Russ did, and you're mad that he made this type of play. So what does the defense do after we make that amazing play? We let them score in 6 plays. They run down our throat, and they go for 2. Turns out, and then we missed the extra point on that Courtland Sutton touchdown, so there's that. So we're only up 9-8 at that point. We kick a field goal to end the half. We're up 12-8. They end up scoring a touchdown. We're down 15-12. We score a field goal. We tie it up. And they score a touchdown. They're up by, I believe, they're up by 7 at that point. We score another touchdown. Javonte Williams had a nice catch, little screen pass wide open on a fake. We miss the extra point again on a botched hold. And then here's where the fun starts. We're down, right? We're down 2 points. We're down a point. Right? No. It's 21-22, and we're losing. We have, I believe, maybe we have all our timeouts with a minute 40 something to go score. We go down to the 50. We're kind of moving the ball. We get, it's 2nd and 10. We go, it's first and, oh my gosh. So we throw the ball. We get about 5 or 6 yards. Then Russell Wilson takes a sack on 2nd down. Brings it back to 3rd and 10. We chunk the ball up. There's 40 seconds left. We only have a couple timeouts. We need to get in the field goal range. We throw a deep ball to Jerry Jeudy, which low-key should have been a touchdown if it was thrown correctly, but we also didn't have any protection. They did a full-on blitz. Russell Wilson throws the ball a little short. Defender doesn't know what he's doing, runs into Jerry Jeudy. Easy pass interference. We end up kind of kneeling it. We don't want to give any time to the Bills to score. And we end up just straight kneeling it so that the clock is completely out. We don't have any timeouts to stop the clock to get a field goal unit. So they have to fire the whole special teams to come up on the field. We have 20 seconds to get everything lined up. Will Lutz goes up for the kick. Straight misses it by 4 feet to the right. Turns out the Bills have 12 men on the field, so we get another try, win the game on a field goal that we shouldn't have had to kick, and we get to go shorter on the kick. So insanely stupid way this whole game kind of played out. I've never seen a game like that. I know Bills fans are crushed. I've seen tons of losses. I've been a part of some of the dumbest losses in Bronco history, and it's finally good to see a little luck go our way. Russell Wilson, other than that really bad sack, he was pretty efficient. He's playing a lot safer, with the football. But I'm not seeing any big flashy plays. He's getting a lot of little Houdini plays, but I'm not really seeing any crazy throws being made. Maybe that is due to the play design. Maybe players just aren't getting open, but yeah. Javonte Williams, he only has 79 yards. He had about 30 yards receiving, so he had about 100 something on the day. This rushing stat doesn't look that great, but he was running hard, man. running right up the middle, just tiring out this defense. I mean, he was straight hitting the linebackers, hitting people in the secondary. He hit Taylor Rapp. He hurt him in his shoulder. This was Javonte Williams is a tough runner. Like, it gets annoying having to tackle this guy, and he just kind of wore out the defense a little bit, and it was kind of cool to see that. Courtland Sutton probably had his best game of the year. Insane. Just a big shout out to him. He had a really, really bad start of the season and been pretty lights out ever since. He had a bad fumble. I'm not putting the fumble on him, though, because Russell Wilson threw a really bad pass. But as you can see here, the Broncos should have easily won this game. Josh Allen had 2 picks, a dropped. He couldn't hand the ball off correctly, and James Cook had a fumble. 4 turnovers, and we only got 6 points out of that. That's horrible. We should have blew out the Bills. We had 15 more minutes of possession time. It's just inexcusable, the amount of this should have been a blowout. This is why I'm not really. I'm celebrating the win. Don't get me wrong, but this was one of the worst wins I've ever seen. They beat us in rushing yards. They beat us in passing yards. They beat us in, third down efficiency. They just played better, and we beat them. It's insane. But watch out for the Broncos, man. Once they get a little stride going, they kind of, when the team kind of meshes, we might be a little dangerous. Watch out now. I did get the Raiders game correct, and I did get the Bills and Broncos game wrong. This week, the Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, and the Eagles all did have their bye. So, yeah. But we're going to go on to picks of the week. For Week 11, we do have a lot of close games. And I'm not really sure how they're going to go. Get my pen here. So I will say, this Thursday night game, this is a coin flip. Both teams coming off of a loss, both close losses. I do believe one of the receivers of the Bengals is going to be out. I think it's T. Higgins. It's just really hard and difficult for me to understand who's going to win this game. I would assume the Bengals win this game, right? It would make sense. But at the same time, the Ravens are just a random team. They can just kind of win a game when they don't deserve to win it. I don't really know how it's going to go. But something's telling me that the Bengals are going to win this game. And I don't know. I just feel like Joe Burrow is going to have a bounce-back game. I feel like they're pissed that they lost to the Texans. They shouldn't have lost. Same with the Ravens, though. They shouldn't have lost to the Browns, and here they are. They're losing to them. I think I'm going to have to go with the Bengals here. Next, we have no more international games, so all the games are now going to be 12 and 3 o'clock. We do have the Titans and the Jaguars. I do have the Jaguars winning this. There shouldn't be a reason why they lose to the Titans. The Jaguars had a really bad game. The Titans also had a really bad game. But the Jaguars are a better team. They are a better team. Would I be surprised if the Titans win this, though? No. The Titans are a random team as well. And Derrick Henry always goes off on the Jaguars. It's just hard for me to see. This is such a coin flip. I'm picking the Jaguars. It's just a safer pick. But like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if the Titans win or even blow out the Jaguars, to be honest. Next, we have the Chargers and the Packers. I'm picking the Chargers. That should be an easy one. The Packers just are not on the level as the Chargers. Giants and the Commanders. I'm picking the Commanders. I think they have a better offense than the Giants. The Giants couldn't do anything against the Cowboys defense. But yeah, I'm picking the Commanders on this one. Raiders and the Dolphins. I'm picking the Dolphins. Dolphins are coming off of a bye. Plus, they're coming off of a bad loss. I think they're going to be fresh and ready to go and just ready for the Raiders. Cardinals and the Texans. I'm picking the Texans all day on that. There should be zero reason why the Texans lose this game. Yeah, Kyler Murray's back, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? We have the Bears and the Lions. I do see here. This is going to be one of the worst games, I think, of the week. Justin Fields may come back this game. He may come back. Would I put him against the Lions defense as his first game back? No. But is the coaching staff stupid for the Bears? Yes. So that means he's most likely going to play. Either way, I'm picking the Lions. There's no reason why the Bears win that. Steelers and the Browns. I'm picking the Steelers blatantly due to the fact that Deshaun Watson's out for the season. So next we have the Cowboys and the Panthers. This is a free win for the Cowboys. I'm scared for the Panther fans because this is going to be a bloodbath. It really is. Bucs and the 49ers. I'm picking the 49ers. I think this is going to be a close game, though. Wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs kind of upset them. Next, we have the Jets and the Bills. I'm picking the Bills. Shouldn't be a reason why the Jets win that. Plus, the Bills are going to be playing with so much emotion and just being pissed. There should be zero reason why the Bills lose that. The Seahawks and the Rams. I believe Matthew Stafford may be back. I'm not sure. The Rams did have a bye. Gives them time to rest. This is going to be a really bad game. I think the Seahawks should win this game. But yeah, I don't really know really how that's going to go, to be honest. I just can't see it. This is a coin flip. I'm picking the Seahawks. I think they're just a slightly better team overall. Wouldn't be surprised if the Rams win here. By the way, well, I'm going to do this first. The Vikings and the Broncos. I'm picking the Broncos. I feel like, the Broncos are playing at home. The Vikings, seems like their only guy that's doing good is Joshua Dobbs. Kind of limit him and, get him under control. And I feel like the Broncos can be on a 4-game win streak here. But all we got to do right now is kind of limit Joshua Dobbs, play some good offense and score points, and I think we'll be all right. But wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings kind of come in and swoop this. They're on a huge momentum streak right now. And probably the game of the week, Chiefs and the Eagles. Wow, this is going to be a close game. This is going to be back and forth. This is probably going to be what it should have been last year. I'm going with the Eagles. I'm not going to be surprised, obviously, if the Chiefs win. The Chiefs are always in contention, no matter who they're playing. But I think the Eagles can pull this game off. I will say, though, my bad. I forgot to go over one game that happened because it was just so memorable. The Falcons and the Cardinals. So I'm going to go over that real quick. If you don't want to see that, you can skip about a minute because that's how long it's going to take. Taylor Heineke threw for 55 yards. Obviously couldn't do anything. Matt Prater is still an elite kicker even at his old age. Kyler Murray had his first game back, threw a decent amount of yards, but he threw a pick, kind of throwing a rust off of the game. Bijan had a really great game, had his second or third NFL touchdown. James Conner didn't really play that great. This was just a very boring game, top to bottom. And, the Cardinals, I feel like, only really won this game because Kyler Murray did come back. I did have the Falcons winning just because I didn't think Kyler Murray would be back, and they announced it like on Thursday or Friday that he's gonna play Sunday. So I was like, great, I'm gonna get that pick wrong, and I did, but it is what it is. But yeah, guys, that was week 11. No, that was week 10. What a great week of games. A lot of action, a lot of close games, a lot of blowouts. Just a lot of stupid stuff kind of going on, but a lot of injuries late middle of the season here. But Playoff picture is getting closer and closer. It's getting tight in the AFC. NFC, like I said, it's pretty lopsided. You got the Cowboys and the Eagles. Who's even over here? Let's be honest. Oh, I forgot to mention. The Falcons, Colts, Patriots, and Saints are all on bye this week, so they're not going to have a game. But let's be real here. I mean, it's the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Lions. You know, like, is there any other big NFC teams? You know, it's going to be those three. You know, in the AFC, you got the Bengals, you got the Ravens. You know, right now you have the Jaguars, the Chargers, the Dolphins. Right now, the Texans. You know, the Bills. You know, the Chiefs. You know, you got a lot of, you know, big teams in the AFC. You know, it's a lot tighter of a playoff picture. Oh, you got the 49ers in the NFC as well, but yeah, great week of games. Huge win for the Broncos. Hopefully they can ride this momentum to beat the Vikings at home. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Sunday. Back-to-back primetime games. You know, hopefully they can, you know, deliver. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully your team won. Great to not see the Chiefs play. You know. But it is what it is. I'm excited for next Sunday, man. Next Sunday is going to be great. A lot of great games. Sunday night's going to be amazing. Finally, a good Sunday night game. Monday night. Great Monday night game. Sunday night's going to be the Broncos. I mean, just a great day. And I can't wait. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Appreciate you guys watching. And I will see y'all next Wednesday.